Good morning, everyone. So, I'm your teacher or your instructor for today. So, my name again is Elaine. So, I would like to welcome you all for our English Maritime course. So, we are now on our week 16. So, we are getting slowly getting to the maritime world. So, today I will be explaining or my topic for today is about more on engine room and the safety equipment. Okay. So, essential maritime vocabulary. So, it's about our engine room and the safety equipment. So, last week, we already discussed about some basic maritime words. And this time, it's all about engine room. So why learning maritime vocabulary? So here, I have some key points to understand why do we need to learn maritime vocabulary. So first, I have here to standardize communication. So of course, so to standardize communication, meaning to ensure that everyone um, everyone on board, regardless on their native language, they should be understand each other. So especially in a critical situation. So having a like difficulty in communication in maritime, it, it will make cause it will make cause a problem on board. And next is to have a safety and efficiency. So meaning when you are in the maritime world, so using the correct terms minimizes the understanding. And of course, when it happens, it will lead to a safer and more efficient operations. And another reason why do we need to understand or learn about maritime is to understanding instruction. So, crucial for comprehending orders, procedures, and technical manuals. Mm. And another reason for that, of course, is to prevent accident. So when you have a clear communication, so it can prevent accidents, especially during the complex or the dangerous operations. So we have here, so as what I said, we're going to tackle about the engine room basics, some equipments, safety equipments, and other emergency procedures. So that will be the covered of our topic. So we have here what we call the engine room basics. So the engine room, they said that this is the heart of the ship, right? So the heart of the ship, or so we have here, so the location and purpose. So so the engine room, so the engine room is typically located at the bottom and aft of the ship, right? And it houses the machinery that powers the vessel. So the main machinery. So here in regarding our engine room, we also have the machine or the main machinery and what we call the auxiliary system. So it contains the main engine for propulsions and various auxiliary systems that supports the ship's operations. So we have here also some operational importance. So the engine room is vital for the ship's movement, power generations, and the overall functionality. So we have the main propulsion, or they said, so this is the powering the vessel. So first, I have here what we call the main engine. So the main engine of the ships is the primary engine that provides the power to turn the propeller. So typically, so also known as the propulsion engine. So typically, it is the powerful reciprocating diesel engine. So it often a slow speed or the two-stroke engine. So in these engines, these engines convert fuel into mechanical energy. So which is used to rotate the propeller and drive the ship through the water. So how does it work? So when the fuel is injected into the engine cylinder, usually by a fuel injector, or it also works on what we call combustion. So meaning the fuel is ignited and burns. So expanding the gas and forcing the piston down the cylinder. So here is what we have here now, the propeller. So the propeller is the rotating device with blades that pushes the ship through the water. Okay? So the propeller is acts as the driving force or translating the engine's rotational energy into the forward motion of the ship. So the propeller is usually located at the stern. So when you say stern, the rear of the ship. So through some designs, incorporated them into other positions. Okay? So we have here what we call the shaft. So it is the long rotating rod that connects the main engine to the propeller. So the shaft is particularly the propeller shafts are crucial for transmitting power from the engine to the propeller. So which generates thrust and allows the vessel to move. So meaning the propeller shaft. Oh, this long rotating shaft is the primary component responsible for transmitting the power from the engine to the propeller. So it also known as a drive shaft or prop shaft. We also have here the tail shaft or the cardan shaft. So as earlier, as I said, the tail shaft. So the tail shaft is the final section of the shaft line. So it's connected to the propeller and it's supported by bearing within the stern tube, which also provide a seal to prevent the water leakage. So here, tail shaft. We also have what we call this also part of the shaft, the intermediate shaft. So the shaft connects the thrust shaft to the tail shaft, allowing for flexibility and the ability to accommodate different distances between the engine and the propeller. So we have here what we call gearbox. So the gearbox is what we call the systems of gears that adjust the speed and torque between the engines and the propeller. So, this is the vital component that connects the engine to the propeller shafts. So what is this gearbox do? So or the function. So the key function of this is to for speed reduction. So the gearbox converts the engine's high RPMs to the lower RPMs. So needed to drive. So it also forward and reverse. For forward and reverse, the gearbox allow the propeller to rotate both forward and reverse. So here we have what we call the auxiliary system. So in auxiliary system, these systems are essentials for various ship functions. So including the power generations, cargo handling, navigations, and the comfort and safety of the crew. So auxiliary system on a ship are the non-propulsive equipment and machinery that support the ship's overall operations. So, why it is important? So, again, of course, when auxiliary system ensures the ship's various functions are performed efficiently, including the power generations, cargo handling, and of course, the navigation. So, this contribute to the safety and stability of the vessel, particularly through systems. So, like steering gear or the ballast management. And of course, the advanced auxiliary machinery can improve energy efficiency and reduce environmental impact. So now we have here the engine room or deck platforms. So in different levels or floors within the engine room. So first we have here, as you can see, what we call the deck machinery. So in deck machinery, you can find some equipments like winches, windlasses, cranes, steering gear, facilitates cargo handling, mooring, and the maneuvering. So what are these? We have here some types of deck machinery. So like I said earlier, the winches. So this winches is used for hauling lines. So this is the machine itself. Ropes and chains for mooring, anchoring, and cargo handling. So this is what we call the winches. Oh, another one, same like winches, is what we call the windlasses. So especially or specifically designed for handling anchor chains, raising and lowering anchors. So this is the windlasses. So another one that we have is what we call cranes. So we uses the cranes for lifting and moving heavy cargo and equipment. So we have also different types of cranes. So we have here what we call the David or David. It is the type of crane that projects over the side of the ship, commonly used for lifting small boats. and anchors or cargo. We also have here what we call the crane vessel or uh, the floating crane. So these are ships equipped with one or more large cranes. It's often used for the offshore construction or salvage. So, crane vessel or what we call also the floating crane. So another type of crane that we have here is what we call the pedestral crane. So the pedestal crane, as I said here, these are the mounted or fixed pedestal that are versatile for general cargo handling on a various ships. So pedestral crane. So these cranes offer a stable platform for lifting and maneuvering, so making them reliable in various sea conditions. So the pedestrian cranes offer a balance between reach and lifting capacity. So it will allow them to handle various types of cargoes or some equipments as well. So we have here also another type of crane is what we call the deck crane. So here, the deck crane is a type of crane. So the deck crane, this is specialized lifting device. This time it's mounted in a ship's deck to handle the heavy cargo and other materials. So this purpose or the primary purpose of the deck crane is used for loading and unloading and moving cargo equipment on and off the ship. So another type of cranes that we have is what we call the gantry cranes. So these found in the ports or shipyards used for lifting heavy objects also. So like containers or ships components.
So this is a large crane that moves along a track. So next that we have is what we call the lever ship cranes. So what is this lever lever ship cranes? So this kind of cranes offer a range of shape cranes, including the LS series or for heavy lifting also, or for the cylinder lifting cranes. So to tell the story short, these cranes or these different types of cranes is help or used for lifting heavy materials or heavy equipment during on board or off or on the shore or even during the operations. So in the deck machinery, we can also see or found what we call the capstan. So this is used for hauling lines, ropes, and chains, and for mooring and the other deck operations. So this one is can hold or protect the lines. And we have here what we call the auxiliary system, or what I mean is the hydraulic system. So based on this chart, this is the power various deck machinery components providing the force needed for the operations. Okay, so here we also here what we call the engine room system. So in the engine room systems, you can find some pumps, compressors, blowers, coolers, and separators are crucial for supporting the main propulsion engines and other systems. So the engine room system, we have here some um, so we have here some key components for our engine room. So first we have here we have here the propulsion system. So meaning we have the engine or the main engine, the primary engine driving of the ship. We also, under the propulsion, is what we call the engine room control system. So this is the controls of the main engine's operations. While the propulsion gearbox transmit the power from engine to the propeller. And we also have here what we call the thrusters. So the thrusters are the auxiliary propulsion system of the maneuvering. Under the engine room system again is also the power generation system. So we have here the diesel generators. So it provides electrical power to the ship. We also have the electrical distribution system, or it distributes power throughout the ship. We also have here what we call the switchboard and panels. So control the electric power flow. So these are the things or key points to understand the power generation system. So of course, we also have here what we call the HVAC system, or stands for heating, ventilation, and aircon conditioning. So in the engine room system, of course, there's also engine room ventilations. So this provides air that for combustions and cooling and removes heat. We also have here what we call our heating systems. So in the heating system, it maintains the temperatures in the engine room and other areas. We also have here what we call the refrigeration system. So here it provides the cooling for crew, quarters, and the cargo. So now we are moving to the emergency response system. So we have here the firefighting system. So it detects and extinguishes fires. We also have what we call the alarm system. So this is the alert personnel to the emergencies. We also have, of course, the alarm devices for these emergencies. And of course, we have here what we call the emergency generators. So this time it provides the power during the blackouts. Okay? So, importance. Now we will move to the auxiliary system. So why is it important for to consider this auxiliary system? So first we have here what we call the efficient operation. So in auxiliary system, it ensures the ship's various functions are performed efficiently, right? So, including the power generations, cargo handling, and navigation. And of course, it also contribute to the safety and stability of the vessel. So, particularly through systems like steering gear and ballast management. So safety and stability. So this system like also like the air conditioning and freshwater production, of course it enhance the comfort for the crew and the passenger. And lastly, sustainability. So in advanced auxiliary machinery, it can improve energy efficiency and reduce environmental impact. So that's why the auxiliary systems are very important to provide the efficiency, of course, and the safety and the comfort of the crews and the passenger. So we are now on the control room. So in the control room, this is the space where the engine or the engineers monitor and control the engine room machinery. So, so in the engine room control, or the ECR monitors and control the ship's propulsion system and the other machinery. So in this room, this is the nerve center of the ship's propulsion system. So the engineers monitor and control the main engines, generators, and other critical system from this room. So we also have other control rooms. So we also, as you know, we have the cargo control room or the CCR. So the CCR is responsible for managing and loading and unloading of liquid cargo, and as well as monitoring cargo conditions and equipments. So of course the other control room that we have is also the bridge or the pilot house. So on that bridge or the pilot house, that is the center command area where the ship is steered and navigate. Remember, so typically by the captain or the master and generally operated. So on that room, it includes the essential equipment for steering system, radar, electronic charts, and GPS. So the bridge or the pilot house is used for the safety or safely navigate and control the ship. But this time we have here the control room where the engineers monitor and control the engines. We have here what we call the workshop. So the workshops is the area. This is the area where repairs and maintenance are carried out. Okay? So everything that need to fix or equipment that need to fix, it works on the workshop. We also have what we call the build. So this is build is the lowest part of the ship's hull. So so this is where the water collects. So this is the bottom part of the ship. Or would be the rest on the ground if the vessel were unsupported by water. So here we have now what we call the fuel system or the fueling journey in the vessel. So, okay. So we have here the fuel tanks. So these are the compartments that stores the fuel. So it is for the ship's engines. So these are the fuel tanks. We also have what we call the fuel pumps. So in the fuel pumps, this is the devices that transfer the fuel from the tanks to the engines. So under also, same from the fuel system, we have the fuel filters. So this device, uh-huh, Poly. So fuel filters, no, this is the components that remove impurities from the fuel. It's like filter. So to protect the engine. So this is the what we call the fuel filters. So next is under the fuel system is we have the fuel injector. So this is the nozzles that spray fuel into the engine's combustions chamber. Okay? So we are now on our steering gear. So the steering gear, we have here what we call the rudder. So this is the, what do you call this? The diagram. So the diagram of the steering gear system or the steering system. So we have the rudder. So the rudder is the flat vertical structure at a stern of the ship that used to steer. Okay. So it's just like this. Oh. And then we also have what we call the steering column. So this is the part of the steering mechanism that the wheel is attached. So here, this is the wheel or the steering. We also have here what we call the hydraulic pump. So this is the pump that uses fluid pressure. So it to use to power the steering machine or the steering mechanism. We also hear what we call the actuator. So this is the component that moves the rudder in response to the movement of the steering wheel. Okay? So next that we have is about automation and control. So, so we have here what we call the ECS or stands for the Engine Control System. So This is the system that automatically monitors and control the engine operations. So here we have the sensors. So those are the devices that measures various parameters. So it's like temperature or the pressure. So it provides data to the ECS or the engine control system. Of course, we have here the alarms. So these are the warning devices that alert engineers to abnormal conditions. And of course, we have what we call the remote control. So this is the ability to control the engine room machinery from a remote location such as the bridge. Okay. Okay. So we are now going so here there are so to our engine room. So we discuss engine rooms. So our engine equipment. First, we have here what we call this is the prime movers. Okay. So this is the main engine, or it is the heart of the ship's propulsion system. So where the fuel converting into mechanical energy to drive the propeller. Okay? So next is what we call, or what we have here is the generator. So they said the generator is the electrical powerhouse. So the generator, it produce electricity to power the ship's various systems. So including the lightning, the navigation, and the auxiliary machinery. We also have here what we call the pumps. So, or the fluid movers. So, the pumps is used or essential for moving liquids such as water, fuel, and oil for cooling. So, lubrication and other purposes. Okay. So, next that we have here what we call the compressor. So we have here the compressor. So the compressor, also one of the equipment. So there is our compressor. This is now the air supply. So the compressor is the produce the compressed air, which is used for starting engines, operating pneumatic tools, and other systems. So another equipment that we have is what we call the water or distiller or the fresh water generator. So this is the water production. So in water production, This is the device convert the seawater into fresh water for the ship's uses. We also have what we call the purifiers. So the purifiers is the cleaning fluids, or it is the purifiers. It simply removes the impurities from the liquids like fuel and lubricating oil, so to ensure the proper function of the machinery. So it's like the filters for the removing impurities. So next is what we have, the shaft and propeller. So this is the speed and torque. So when we say, so this is the turning power. So the shaft transmits the rotational power from the engine to the propeller. So which then pushes the ships through the water. Okay? So next is what we have. It's what we call the turbocharger. So this is the boosting efficiency. So meaning this is the turbocharger is the increases an engine's power output and efficiency by forcing more air. So more air in the combustion chamber. So next equipment that we have is what we call the intercooler or the aftercooler. So this is the cooling the air or changing the cooling in the air. So here it cools the air compressed by the turbo charger to increase its density and improve the engine performance. Okay? So we have here, what's next? What we call the cylinder, uh, the top of the cylinder. So this part, the cylinder head. So the cylinder head is closest to the top of the engine cylinder. So top of the cylinder, oh, and it contains valve. So cylinder head. We have here also another part or another equipment that we have is what we call the piston and connecting rod. So the piston and the connecting rod is also the reciprocating motion, or simply, so this is the piston moves up and down within the cylinder. So, and also connecting the rod, converting this linear motion into a rotary motions. So next equipment that we have is here, hold on. So next will be what we call the crankshafts. So the crankshafts is also what we call this is the crankshafts is the converting linear to rotary, right? So the crankshafts converts the linear motion of the pistons into a rotary motions. So next is what we have here is what we call the gearbox. So the gearbox is known for the speed and torque. So the gearbox, this is adjust the engine's output speed and torque to match the propeller's requirement for optimal efficiency. Okay? So these are the gearbox. So another one equipment that we have is what we call the heat exchanger. So this is the temperature control. So what is the use of this heat exchanger? So these heat exchangers transfer heat between fluids used for cooling engines, heating water, and other temperature regulation process. So these are the some equipments. So heat exchangers. So that's it. We already discussed about some equipments regarding the engine rooms, importance of some systems, or the importance of those uh, systems using in the engine room systems, auxiliary systems. It's about all operational during the engine room and the safety equipment for that. So I discussed some parts of the or some of the basic equipments that can be found in the engine room. So okay, that will be for today. We will continue some other topics when we on Wednesday on our next discussion. So again, thank you for your listening.